a safe place, and I walked through this kitchen of a restaurant. I remember it's a mall, and people were doing the knockout game on innocent people, just groups of people walking up to each other and knocking out. And I remember, if anybody can remember this part, I had like two knives on me, a small, both from my kitchen, a small paring knife and a big butcher knife, and they represented two swords. And so I was amazed by that. And so then when I come back, please bear with me, I got to go a long way with this. I decide to go back into the theater and make sure everybody's okay. And there's this guy, and he goes running up these stairs dressed in an old military uniform, yelling, "I'm Senator McCarthy, I'm Senator McCarthy, I'm Senator McCarthy." And that's why I call it a symbolic prophetic dream back then. This was, in September this year, it would have been 3 years ago. I mean, I didn't even know who McCarthy was. We had to go into a whole fact-finding thing and look him up and all that. So let's go into this dream. I'm just going to play just as much as I ever have to.
Everything had changed. There were people who were threatening me. There were groups of people all over that were doing the most evil, heinous things. I suddenly felt threatened, and I walked, and I knew I had protection on me, and a lot of people were getting beat down, like the knockout.
Those were those two knives I was telling you about. I don't mention that till the end, but I'm not going to play the whole thing. But I had two knives, one in my left pocket, one in my right pocket, one a small paring knife and the other a large cutting knife. And after prayer, I found out those meant the two swords.
Game, everyone I looked at had evil in him. And I started to go back in the movie theater because I felt like I'd be safer in there. And this guy,
watch,
a younger guy, he had a uniform similar to this. He goes running up the stairs. You ever been in a movie theater and there's like a second area that goes up? Like, he had a uniform on exactly like this, okay? But he's young. He had blonde hair, and he was probably about 20. And he said, "I'm Senator McCarthy, I'm Senator McCarthy, I'm Senator McCarthy." And he had a huge sword in his hand. And I began to pray for those people. They were in huge danger. And I remember saying, someone should get security. This dude was about ready to bloodlet that whole area.
Bloodlet.
Screaming he was Senator McCarthy, whom I know nothing about. Remember history?
I don't even use that term, bloodlet. So I caught something concerning this McCarthy, so I want to look at that real quick, and then I'll go ahead and explain where this message is going and its importance. I just wanted to verify this information and make sure that I'd seen it properly as it buzzed by on the screen right there. So he was in the Republican Party from 44, everybody see this, 1944 to 57, 5-7. And he died in May. So he was born in November and died in May. He was born in Wisconsin and died in Maryland. I'm just going to put all that information out there. So now let's continue with this dream. And so basically the rapture had occurred, and tribulation had begun, and everybody had changed. There was no more peace on earth. It was just evil. And World War III, I remember, was on the horizon to start. And the reason why I say that Senator McCarthy, I'm Senator McCarthy, is because the last couple of months, and I remember the dream was almost 3 years ago, the last couple of months I've been seeing Trump and McCarthyism compared, I mean, like almost every week. Have you guys seen this? Trump's presidency, the cartoonist compares Trump's presidency to McCarthyism. Just Google McCarthyism and you can learn pretty much everything it is. Donald Trump and Joe McCarthy. Trump confronts new McCarthyism. Rebuke of Senator John McCain. It's got some pictures of Eisenhower, another person who I've had a lot of dreams about, being in New York with Eisenhower and Trump. Eisenhower triumphed over Joe McCarthy. What is McCarthyism? House Intel Chair. Trump Russia investigates calls, almost like a McCarthyism being revisited. And I just want you to take note of two things here, Trump and Russia. So, and the reason why I started off this way is because this new revelation involves Russia, and to show you how far that these warnings go back. So last night, so that has been bothering me about Trump being compared to McCarthy, and when I had that dream involving a rapture and tribulation timeline, and September 19th mentioning judgment. So I'm just putting that out there. So then last night I noticed, as I explained yesterday, was my dad's birthday, 321, and summer had started, and then we come to 322. And so before I went to bed last night, I told my wife, tomorrow's 322. It's 322. I wonder what skull and bones, the evil, wicked people in high power that Jesus warned about, I wonder what they have planned for tomorrow. I actually said that, 322. I'm sure other people probably thought of that too, or if you didn't, maybe you will now, that this was planned. This skull and bones, 322, you see that? That's today's date. Some saying that it has something to do with Genesis 3:22. I don't want to get all the way to the bottom of that, but you can see the members of, matter of fact, is that Putin and Hitler? It looks like it, but continuing this skull and bones, and then sure enough, today, 322, at 32 degrees, they're talking about this 4 police officers dead, or one cop and 4 dead total on the Westminster Bridge that I Googled Earth, and and this false flag. What I'm studying this and watching this closely to be considered a false flag set up by Skull and Bones members, is now ushering in the use of heavy weapons in New York. They're bringing in heavy weapons in New York. Let me vet that real quick. So first, I was warned of McCarthyism returning, and the rapture and tribulation, a DNA change in World War III. And almost 3 years later, it's coming to pass. And then I noticed that last night, and it's 11:44. Look, just follow this. That on 322 they were going to do some form of false flag, and then now you're seeing the false flag, and it's in London, and as London goes, so goes New York, right? And then this being revealed right here, Putin in Russia. Oh, so we'll get into the NATO in a minute, but now this heavy weapons. Let's bring this over here. Has everyone heard this story yet? That in reaction to this attack in London, New York PD is bringing in, quote, heavy weapons. Now, to me, they already carry, semi-automatic sidearms and AR-15, M4 assault rifles with 30-round magazines, several of them. So I think heavy weapons would be something above an AR, which is already their standard issue. We've all seen them standing out in the streets, right? So what does heavy weapons mean to you? And that's what everybody wants to know, but they're not talking about. No way. Now here's another major confirmation of where I'm going in the next part of this video. This is date 322, so this was exactly a year ago today, 3/22/16. More than 200 flights to Brussels were diverted or canceled after 3 explosions that authorities are calling terror attacks. See, this is why I just have to, and I guess it's 32 degrees there too, huh? It's 32 degrees everywhere. But what I mean, this is what I mean about this information. The more I look into it, the more that comes out. So the Brussels, Belgium airport attack with 3 bombs was exactly a year ago to this date. No one finds that weird, because you know what we're talking about next? Brussels, Belgium. I kid you not. And just some little things that may seem insignificant to other people, but I brought up NATO here in Brussels, Belgium, and I looked up here, and it's Leopold, right here on the street. It's Leopold right here, where A201 is. That's Leopold, and you know what And I was thinking, you know what, there's going to be some type of assassination attempt here, or a beginning of World War III. It's going to happen. It's going to be discussed here. Russia and Korea are going to be the if we don't, here it is, Leopold right there. See it right here, Leopold. Well, they make sniper scopes and stuff. So it's just another sign. But this NATO building, I want you to study this as I scan out and show you that the concern is Brussels. And Brussels, this is Brussels, Belgium. Brussels has been, on my heart for a long time prophetically, as to receive something type of world government action. World government, did I say that? World government action after, so I'll take out the NATO part. After some type of false flag terror attack, the government's going to come together here. So I'll just put Brussels and take out the NATO part so you can kind of see. And let me look up Leopold. It's a lot of information here. I've decided, that I can no longer be concerned about the length, because we all know, here's the Brussels airport. Yeah, so that is just one big coincidence, right? And I'm going to continue. I can no longer be concerned about the length. We know that YouTube messes with views and all that stuff, but I just have to say what I have to say, even if the video runs 30 minutes. I just have to say this. So, Brussels Airport, exactly a year ago today, and now on Skull and Bones 322, London, and then heavy weapons being pulled out in New York with no mention of what that means as a heavy weapon. Really? Really? So all that's a coincidence? The McCarthy, Senator McCarthy dream, and it's all just a coincidence in regards to prophetic timing of what's to come. So if anyone knows anything about hunting scopes or marksman scopes, and I mentioned the AR here, here's those Leopold scopes. I just wanted to show you. I'm trying to bear witness on as many things as I can. Commonly used for long range assault style shooting. So I just wanted to get that information in there and just continue on here. So that was on this map. And I just think that something big is coming for NATO and Brussels, Belgium, and Russia regarding Trump. So let's go to that part now. There's a lot of parts to this. So we discussed the reaction to a London attack, bringing heavy weapons to New York. We discussed that a year ago. I just found this, actually. A year ago today was the exact date of the Brussels, Belgium airport attack, which also, Skull and Bones Day, NATO, and which also, let me just show you something. Just to try to add some credibility to this. So I know some people are scratching their heads saying it's just another video. This guy's all over the place. What does it mean? The Lord just told me to pull up Brussels in my video manager, and look right here. On the day, a year ago, March 22nd, 2016, I share this attack. And you know why I share this attack? Because I warned of it in advance. I warned of this in advance through the same type of warning I'm doing right now. It was warned in advance. So I'm sure I would have linked to a video or something. Brussels, Belgium, the package is delivered. That God showed us this in advance. So let's go to that.
This is Minister Paul in
What's the date on this? Again, 2014. So this Brussels planned attacks. This and New York is mentioned in this also. Which also is the United Nations and an image and seal. So the Chrysler Building continues to come up. So the attack. Look at this 666 3rd Avenue. And then look at this. Man, I'm telling you, the more I look into this, the more is being revealed. I have a video on here. Look at this. It's about 666 3rd Avenue and